Guys, this one might come off as just a little bit of a rant, and I won't take up too much of your time because, you know how it goes. As we say, a lot of people say, this is a knife channel. We didn't come here to listen to, this, that, or the other. Specifically talk about them knives. But anyway, I was never a good listener anyway. What I want to talk to you guys about quickly is just the reason why our world is just so messed up nowadays. And if you could take anything from this, or if you could take anything, just hear me out for a minute. You know what I mean? What I am going to say is it takes, for the most part, and this world will be half straightened out, if not more, if people just used basic common sense. Basic common sense. I can't explain it no easier than that. The story in hand goes as follows. My neighbor, she had to go to a wedding. Her and her husband, they had to go to a wedding in Florida. So they pack up their cute little duffel bags and off they went. But little do you guys know, they left her 86-year-old mother in the house with a big full-size Rottweiler that they have. Yes, and that was given to them by me, my wife and I. So she has this big dog over there that's just a massive, just a strong, you got to see this thing, right? I should do some filming. So she left the key with Trisha and I, and she says, "Oh, don't worry about it. My mom's so sufficient. All she got to do is, if you don't mind, just check on her every once in a while. Pop in, unlock the door, and just say, 'Hey, Mom,' holler in and say, 'How you doing in there?'" Well, it was everything but doing that. Every morning I wake up, first off, they say go over there at 12, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. My conscience won't let me do that. So I get up and I'm ready to rip over there at 9 a.m. I get over there at 9 o'clock in the morning, open up the door, I don't hear a soul. Finally, she hollers in the bedroom. She hollers out to me, "Hello, blah, blah." She's all disoriented, didn't know friggin' shit from Shandola, didn't know nothing. She says, "Oh, Mom, I didn't know I slept this late. I was dreaming. I was this, I was that." She had every excuse under the sun. She could barely walk. I sat her down in the chair. I proceeded to feed the dog, change the dog's water, let the dog out, hook the dog on the lead, all this stuff. And it's difficult for a man of my I consider myself a pretty darn strong guy. And it's a challenge for me to do these do what I'm doing over there, taking care of the just the basic needs. Okay? I think it's a complete joke, but yet everybody's saying that they're fine. Even my wife says, "You know something, you're just jumping the gun. You need to relax, man. Take a chill pill." She does this every day because she does live on her own. She is just staying at my neighbor's house for a few days. She has her own house and she still lives on her own at 86. Okay? I don't like it 1 second. Just with the dog, I would feel a little bit easier if the dog wasn't in play over there. The dog, when I was there, the dog was throwing the toy up in the air, jumping all over the couch, jumping on her mostly, throwing the toys on her. Now, this is an 86-year-old woman. And, you know, they just laugh it off and they just, oh, she's so cute. You know, she don't know no better. She doesn't know no better. I said, Mom, I said, did you eat? Oh, I don't eat in the morning. I just woke up. I'm going to make a cup of tea and this. Okay, you're going to make tea and you're going to get something to eat. First off, I know that woman ain't eating. Damn, whatever she's scrounging up, whatever's in her mind at the time, she's putting in her mouth. Okay? Furthermore, the poor woman's not even getting a shower. Now, I'll put money that woman's not getting in the shower. Again, here it goes. We're coming back to being self-sufficient. She still lives on her own. They claim, Linda, and everybody claims, she's fine. She's self-sufficient. She's fine. Well, I beg to differ. I beg to differ on what I saw with my own two eyes. Okay? This is the reasons why I mention, and I'll go back to having basic common sense. Basic common sense, ladies and gentlemen. It's a gosh darn shame that people can't use their brain for 1 second and they worry about themselves so gosh darn much. She's worried about being at this hi-ho wedding in Florida. Okay? But she'll be fine. You know why she'll be fine? She knows other people are watching over, this, that, and the other, and kind of things will be okay and work itself out. I was over there 4 times already from this morning. It's 12 o'clock right now in New Jersey. I was over there 4 times already because my conscience will not let me stay in this house. I have to keep going over there checking on her. Absolutely ridiculous. That's it, guys. I'm just done. These AD 20.5 Demkos. Little do you know. I didn't know this till recently. I'm not going to talk about favorite knives and this, that, and the other. Oh, it's my favorite knife. And no. I thought that this was going to be one of my favorite knives to carry, stick in my pocket. I thought it was going to be all that. And it could be. It could be kind of, sort of. Like I said, once you purchase one of these for $150, little do you know, if you go ahead and open this thing up, right there is the pivot. And what you'll see when you open this thing up as far as bearings go, you'll want to laugh your hiney off because you need a microscope. You literally need a microscope to see the bearings and the captured, what they're in, you know, the case that they're in. That's how thin, paper thin. Go watch a video on it. I believe Stasa23 did a video on it. He could not even get the bearings to spin. I mean, they're microscopic. Now, this is supposed to be, the reason why I care about it is so much is because this is supposed to be a fidget knife. Most people are going to sit there and flip this thing 1,000,000 times a day. How long do you think those bearings in there are going to last? As thin as they are. But please, go watch Stas's video. I'm telling you, you will see it. So we moved on to point B now. Now we're on point B. Originally, I didn't know about the internals. I was just going to change out some of the scales and make them look pretty. And have some badass Demkos, right? That was my plan. So the plan now quickly got changed because I have to buy bearings for this knife or else I just won't be able to rest or keep my mind at ease. Lefty. Shout out to Lefty. I give that guy all the credit in the world. The guy knows a lot about knives. He really does. If you listen to the guy, he knows about knives, okay? He swears by them bearings, them skiff bearings. He swears by them skiff bearings. He throws skiff bearings in everything. They're heavier duty. They're just much more better built. So I reached out to him, and gracious enough, thank you again to Lefty EDC. Shout out to Lefty. If you guys have not been over to his channel, which everybody probably has, please go check that guy out for the sake of love. He turned me on to them skiffed bearings. I ordered a set, just one set for now. I just want to, test the waters, throw them in. They are $13 a piece, so you got to get, 2 of them. So with tax and everything, you're talking like $30. You're like close to like $30 for a set of those skiff bearings to throw in there. Now, it's a necessity you put those bearings in there. Yet stop everything you're doing. If you have one of these knives, I'm going to repeat. If you have one of these Demko 20.5 knives, you have to put those skiff bearings in there. You have to. They will disintegrate. They will disintegrate using it. Because I'm telling you, you're going to be doing this. How many people are going to be doing this all day? And how many people bought that knife predominantly just for the fidget factor, right? You got to put those skiff bearings in there, okay? You have to. I mean, if you choose not to do that, well, then you're going to find out what's going to happen to your knife eventually. I mean, it's just going to not work properly. It's just the action's going to become just real sluggish, and it's just not going to work. Save yourself the time, the aggravation, and just going through, squirting KPL in the pivot, just trying to get better action out of it. Just get the skiff bearings. That's what I did. I bought a set of them. That's where I'm at. So, I mean, I've already got the knives now, so there's no sense in crying over spilled milk. You know what I mean? I have them now, and what I got to do is I got to make them better. I got to make them better. That's all I could do. Slowly but surely. Eventually, you'll get the scales one by one. You'll get different scales put on them. The bearings will be in there, and you'll be done. You're talking a boatload of money after all said and done. That's what I'm saying. Think about your purchase on this Demko 20.5, ladies and gentlemen, because you're already going to drop the $150 right out of the gate. You're going to drop $30 on the bearings. Right off the bat, you're going to drop $30 on the bearings. Then you're going to talk 60, 80. Let's just call it a cool 100 to make it short and sweet for scales. So you're 130. You're 130 for scales and bearings. And you're 150 to purchase the knife. So you're around 400. This knife is right around $400. This knife will cost you $400 if you buy it and you want to do it right. I'm telling you. I'm just letting you guys know on what's involved in purchasing this knife. Just don't think you're going to purchase this knife and it's the end-all be-all. It's not. It's not. You got to put money into these to make them anything. You know what I mean? And for that, you could have bought an AD20 custom for $400. You could have even been cheaper than that. Think about that. You could get an AD20 for less than $400. You know, right around the same price. Instead of, you know, doing all the bearings and scales. And now you don't have to do scales. No, you don't have to do them. But you do have to do bearings. You do have to do bearings. That's about it, ladies and gentlemen. You know, you never do know. If I would have known all this with these knives, I would have bought one. You know what I mean? I don't even know. Some swear that the $150 that you pay for this is absurd. Because, once again, we'll go to the steel now, too. What's his name? The guy that tests the steel all the time. Oh, man. What was his name? He does the test all the time. Shoot. What's his name? What's his name? What's his name? I'm drawing a blank. Darn it. Anyway. He did a test. He did his test on this steel, this D2 steel. He thinks it's junk. He said it kept rolling over, sharpening. It just wasn't it wasn't really that good at all. That good at all. This D2 was not that good at all. That was his claim to fame. He swore up and down. Just know what you're getting involved in, guys, if you're going to buy one of these. That's all I'm saying. You know, they're good. I mean, the action is fine when you first get them. They're a lot of fun. They're, you know what I mean? You see, I mean, they're, you know, they're good knives, I guess. But they need extra stuff. They need more. They need more to make them what they could be. I don't know. They just need more. All right, guys. I'm going to let you get down the road. Drop me a comment if you can, please. I greatly appreciate it. I love reading the comments. I like feedback, you know what I mean? So, without the comments, I can't get no feedback. And I don't know what direction to go in without your comments. Anyway, guys, I'm going to let you go. Be good, be well, be safe. Use common sense, right? That's the quote of the day, right? Common sense, a little common sense. Just stop and think for 1 second, right? It ain't going to kill nobody. All right, guys. Take care. See you later.